What's up, Airsofters? Rick from Night Train Milsim here today. And since it is basically Snowmageddon here on the East Coast, I thought this was a great opportunity to show you guys the kit that I'm going to be wearing for Frostfall, which is put on by Gun Gamers Productions. It's a 12-hour continuous Milsim event at Skirmish Paintball. It's going to be super fun. It's going to be super cold. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about my kit. First thing I'm going to talk about is the gun that I've got here. You played with me before, or you've been on this channel before, you recognize this gun. This is my Wendigo Customs build that was built by a guy here in Maryland. Started as its life as a VFC Avalon, and it's been upgraded. It's been through so many games. It's been through helicopter rides, you name it, it's been through it. Now, a couple things that are going to be different this year. I have the Silo Entertainment flash suppressor. It's got a muzzle flash and it's got a chrono. And what's super cool about it, if you've watched my last gameplay video, you see the smoke coming out of it. It's got this like smoke effect to it, which just adds to the realism, and it's just super fun to play with. But what's really going to stand out is this scope that I've got. This is the Hydra by DNT Optics. So I don't actually own this. DNT Optics sent this to me to review, and I'm going to use it for Frostfall. So this is really, really cool. I've never played with a thermal before. Some people say it's basically cheating in Airsoft. I disagree. I say it's pay to win in Airsoft. Or in this case, have someone send you something to review to win. And then of course you see here on the side, I've got just a flashlight for some white light. I actually really hope that the weather is just like this for Frostfall, because that's going to be super fun if it is. There's definitely going to be a lot of snow. I don't know about, snowing, but come on guys, wouldn't that be really, really cool? So let's go put the gun aside and talk about the kit. Let's start with the helmet. Let's start at the top here. So this is my Team Wendy bump helmet. This is going to go through some upgrades throughout this year. Not the helmet itself, but what I've got on it. But for now, I've got a Chinesium Agilite knockoff multicam helmet cover, and then the Amazon Special scrim. I'm looking at some other 3D scrim options. If you have some that you'd suggest, let me know. I also have this strobe light here on top that I found, and I've had this actually for about like 12 years. I bought it off some Chinese website a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't use it for the last couple of years, but I'm going to use it now. This will replace the V-light that I've had. Super bright, and it can flash in different modes. For this event, I'm also going to be filming all of my gameplay with a GoPro. If you remember last year, I wore the blue beret, so I couldn't film, but the blue beret looks super cool. Going along the back of my helmet, got my X-Fog. I'll never play without an X-Fog. You see with, just a little bit of time without me having the X-Fog on, I'm starting to fog up here, and this is just from me talking. So got the X-Fog up here. I've got the tubes run through the inside of the helmet. And then here on the back, there's a counterweight pouch where I would normally have my external battery pack, which would run my GoPro, but I've got that inside right now because I had to take it on a trip for work, and I used it to keep my phone alive while I was on the airplane. And then I've got my team roster number on the back, so you can identify us at night from behind. It's actually really, really helpful. It basically takes the place of cat eyes. That's my helmet. Let's go put that aside, and then we'll keep going. Same iPro as last year. ESS crossbows with the Valhalla Airsoft VMAX gasket, the 90-degree adapter. These are awesome. I know certain event promoters will say it's okay not to have a gasket. That's all well and fine. For me personally, I'm always going to run a gasket and deal with the goggle fan for safety, especially because on these particular glasses, if you look, this cut rides up pretty high. I'm just simply not comfortable without running these without a gasket. So for the top, head and face protection, this is an Army issued balaclava. Normally I would run a black one, but because nothing in nature is naturally black, it's gonna stick out like a sore thumb, and I think the tan just looks better with the kit. This also hides a lower face protection. But if you watched any of my videos last year, you'll know that I had a tooth shot out. So because of that, and it costing me $500 to fix, I will never play Airsoft without a lower face mask of some kind again. Now, depending on how the game goes, I can take it down and whatnot. But for this one in particular, I'm just going to stick it up in my balaclava because it's going to be so much easier. All right, so I've taken the bottom part off, and I'm still going, Like this video if you think you should come with me. Good boy. Okay, so moving on. So we'll talk about my load-bearing equipment first. So this is a British tactical belt kit setup. I think it's called the Hippo belt. I'm going to link it in the description below. Same one I wore last year, but last year I hardly had anything on it. I just had a couple magazine pouches. This year's a little different. All right, so on the side here, I've got 3 Amazon Special magazine pouches. They're double stacked, so I've got 4 magazines using the EPM mags right here. 2 plus 1 in the rifle, and then I've got my Odin speed loader right here. One thing I do need to add before the game is some little pull tabs right here, because you see I'm having some trouble pulling on these. Along the front, I've got the hand warmer, the Amazon special. This was kind of a last minute purchase, but I think this is super important because it's gonna get really cold. Even just standing out here right now while it's snowing, I'm cold. So this is gonna be an absolute game changer. Plus, it has a nice little pouch right here to where I can put my cell phone in or anything else I need real quick. Here on the back, I've got a sustainment pouch that I bought on eBay, came straight from Ukraine, which was actually pretty awesome. This has my extra layer in it, and I'll probably put a couple other small things in here, like my thermal scope will probably go in here during the day. So also on the back, I've got my 2 radios. I'm going to be a platoon sergeant for this game. So that means I need to speak to the internal platoon, and I need to be able to speak to higher command, which are on 2 different frequencies. If you've been following me long enough, you know that's how I do things. My left side tends to be my internal comms, so I can use it behind the gun. And the right side tends to be the higher command. Normally when I'm talking to higher command, it's at a lull. I'm in the back a little bit more. Also looking at the back here, I found this in my basement, actually. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in here yet. I think this is an old school mat pouch or something, but right now it just kind of looks cool. So on the right side here, I've got my water bottle. This is in a USGI canteen pouch that I've spray painted green to match everything else. And then I've got a general purpose pouch right here from Eagle Industries that's got some snacks in it for now. So I went over the basics of the kit. You see I've got my, I don't think I covered my trucker mics up here. Yeah, I mean, other mics are cool. You've got the Comtax headset and whatnot. Super cool stuff, but that's just more kit to fail, in my opinion. And especially for a game like this, where you're going to be kind of out in the elements and kind of away from easy resupply and whatnot. I don't want more tech that's just going to fail. Moving on to other pieces of kit. On the top, I've got the Phantom Leaf Wasp. I don't remember the exact nomenclature for this, but I'm going to put it here on the screen somewhere when I figure it out. I bought this last year, came straight out of Germany. I think this looks super cool, regardless of the 10th Special Task Group kit that I'm trying to do. I would wear this anyway, just because I think it looks super dope. And then you see here on the sides, I've got the 10th Special Task Group patch and the Almyrk flag for IFF purposes. And on the opposite side, I've got my Gun Gamer staff patch. Also, see I've got my Milsim tourniquets here, 1 in each pocket. One's a little different. This is one that I made, so it's actually Velcroed onto here. This one's not. You pull it straight out. I did get some name tapes with some pretty cool color combinations. OD green with gold lettering. Lane, my last name. Almyrk Republic. For the Republic. Oh, room. Dog approved. Underneath this, I've got a couple layers. Something I always recommend when you're doing cold weather. Stay away from cotton. Cotton kills. I've got a USGI base layer underneath this, and then I've got a thermal shirt over top of it. And then for gloves, I've got a pair of tan outdoor research gloves. I'm actually going to bring a second pair of these, and we're going to put them in the pack. So that way, if these get wet, gross, disgusting, or midway through the day, I can change gloves. I'll be happy. So on the bottom, I've got the same Eddie Bauer snow pants that I was wearing last year, which were really, really great. I didn't get cold at all. I've got 2 pairs of insulating layers underneath this. I've got the USGI silk layer as a base layer, and then I've got the waffle pants as well. I may or may not wear day of. We'll see. My recommendation for this, and I've said this to the guys that are going to be in my platoon for this event, when you start the event, you want to be what I call comfortably uncomfortable. You don't want to be sitting there nice, warm, and toasty, because you're going to start to run and then you're going to overheat. You're going to fall out. And as Eric says, if you die in airsoft, you die in real life. So don't do that. And you also want to have a layer that you could throw on if you get too cold when the temperature drops, which is why I've got another layer in the pack. And then looking down, I've got my Outdoor Research gaiters in tan. Got a pair of wool socks on in there. And I've got a pair of Rocky boots that I haven't worn since I was in the Army, because these were sat in a box. So these are going to be a better option than my Merrells that I usually would run, just based upon, what kind of stuff we're doing. Also, I've got Yak tracks. These make all the difference in the world when it comes to walking on ice for your traction. I'm going to try to get a pair of snowshoes before this event, but something tells me Amazon might have trouble delivering it. Just a little, but I'm going to try. Do I think I'll need them? I don't know, but I'd like to have them. So yeah, guys, that's my kit for Frostfall. I hope to see you guys there. Not only is this kit for Frostfall, this is going to be my go-to cold weather kit, just because I think it looks super cool. If you're not looking cool in airsoft, what the hell are you doing? That's why we do this, right? Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching. I'm Rick. See you all at Frostfall and in the next video. Later. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Oh, that's a good boy. Oh, you love it. Oh, that's a good boy. Who's a good boy, Scar? You're a good boy. Good boy, puppy. Good boy. Okay, sit. Speak. Okay, you don't got that one. There you go. He's a husky. Of course he's mounted. Okay, cool. Don't mind the husky. So I'm keeping part of this on.